Thank you so much, Khim Yin, for joining me today. Maybe
you.
we can start with you introducing yourself.
Okay, my name is Khim Yin. I'm from Unilever, and I'm currently the Global Brand VP on Lifebuoy.
So I understand that Lifebuoy is quite widely recognized as a purpose-driven brand. So in your view, what does purpose look like at Lifebuoy, and how has that translated to Lifebuoy's work?
Right. I think Lifebuoy is one of the brands where it's a brand that's actually born out of purpose. So Unilever founded this brand in 1894 during the cholera outbreak in Victoria, England. And it was really just a brand that was, born to give protection to families, to ensure that they do not fall ill, and succumb to the cholera illness. And from that day, we have been doing a lot of education on hygiene, ensuring that families fall ill a little less often. So I would say that for Lifebuoy, purpose is really embedded in the core of the brand. And up till today, I mean, that's all we do, from everything from, the communication that we make, the on-ground programs that we run. Lifebuoy is actually the brand that has the largest hand-washing behavioral change program in the world. And we have actually, in the last decade, reached about 1 billion consumers over many countries. So I would say that, when it comes to our communication, our behavior change program, I think that's one of the most fundamental rock of how we actually bring our purpose alive. But it's not only that. I think Lifebuoy is designed as a brand to actually provide very accessible and affordable hygiene and health to consumers and families across the world. So, we always ensure things like pricing is kept accessible, distribution is kept very accessible to consumers so that they can easily buy a health and hygiene product. And we have even done things like we go beyond just offering a product. We have done partnerships with telehealth providers so that we're able to give the underserved communities access to expert health advice. So that for us, I think purpose is not really health as just by providing our product, but a more holistic service to consumers so that they are protected.
Okay, yes. Wow, that's very extensive. Internally, what does purpose look like at Lifebuoy? So, for example, with your employees, how do they learn to adopt the Lifebuoy purpose?
I think it's really, it's everything that we do. So I guess people who work at Lifebuoy, we all believe that, the work that we do actually make a bigger impact to consumers' lives. So we are not just about, selling a product or, doing marketing. We are actually, every product that we sell, the way we design the products, the way we, like I said, we price the product, the way we market our products, the way we lend behavior change programs, to our consumers. All of them are designed so that we believe that every single piece of work that we do actually make an impact to consumers' lives. Yeah.
So are there any tools that could help your employees or yourself kind of activate that purpose? It could be like a value system or some kind of methodology internally that helps you to really kind of embody that purpose. Is there anything?
Right. I think the thing about Unilever is that we believe that we do well by doing good. So I think it's a culture that's been embedded in the company, I think, at its core. So people who join Unilever, I mean, we have surveys to show that our employees are actually very committed to the company, and 90% of our employees say that they're very proud to say they work at Unilever, and I think a lot of it is played by the part that purpose plays in our brands and a company. So I don't think it's a specific tool, but of course it's more about the culture that's been built within the company. Having said that, I think we do, for example, in Lifebuoy, because purpose is so entrenched in the core of the brand, that we do have a team, a social mission team that actually really looks at how we're able to land programs. A lot of them are experts in behavior change, and they have tools and research to show, how is it the pillars of behavior change that needs to be embedded in the program so that, we're able to drive the kind of impact on ground.
So you say that Lifebuoy has been a purpose-driven brand from the beginning. Have there been any challenges that Lifebuoy has faced in balancing purpose and profit through this whole journey?
Interesting question. I think that's the question that a lot of people ask and question about sustainability. I think interestingly for us, because it's just so integrated into the DNA of the brand, that in fact it's more a cyclical model. I think it's I think the epitome of doing well by doing good, because the more we educate consumers about behavior, right, hand washing behavior, for example, what happens, like consumption goes up, right? So with education, they believe that or they're educated that they need to practice hygiene habits more often during the day. And when they do that, basically the consumption of soap goes up. And because Lifebuoy is a brand that is the one that's speaking to them and educating them, and it makes the brand a lot more memorable and salient. And therefore, when they start buying soap, and when the consumption increase, like which is the brand that's going to be more purchased. And therefore, I think by doing well, it actually does well for the business as well. So we actually educate. We drive up consumption. We bring more brand value, and I think it brings back and brings back to the brand. Yeah.
So what do you think Lifebuoy has done well such that you've been able to continue this sense of purpose long term?
I think it's just commitment, basically. Like it's not something that we do at a whim and fancy. I mean, it is something that is basically what the brand stands for. And I think because of that, it's a commitment that it's not a sprint. I think it's a journey. But through the years, it's just been what builds the brand actually. Yeah, what the brand is known for.
Thank you for that. I think on a more personal note, how does Lifebuoy's work resonate with you and your values?
Right. Actually, my personal purpose is to create challenging adventures for outsized outcome. And I think it really partners, I think, the brand very well, because when it comes to behavior change, I think it's also about how we evolve the way we actually speak to consumers and drive that behavior change through the years. Because not one way, but not by telling consumers again and again that they need to wash their hands is something that becomes sticky and they remember. So I think our job is actually to make that message engaging, make it sticky, make it unmissable for consumers. And to do that, I think it's always pushing boundaries, finding new creative ways to land the message. So for example, this year we have, Lifebuoy is actually one of the co-founders of Global Hand Washing Day. So every year we activate Global Hand Washing Day. And this year, because of COVID, post-COVID fatigue, people just didn't want to, hear about hygiene messages anymore. So I think one of the ways we actually designed a campaign all around learning through fun and learning through play. So we created games with the integrated message of hand hygiene within the message. So when kids especially play the games, they get the message of hygiene while having fun. And this is, I think, a way of us sort of finding new ways, pushing boundaries, creating adventures so that we find solutions that can make a bigger impact in consumers' lives.
So this idea of pushing boundaries and challenge, is that what excites you the most about your work at Lifebuoy?
Yes, I think so. I think it's not. I think it's a great combination of staying true to the core of the brand, but ensure that we evolve the campaigns and evolve how we actually send the messaging across, so that it never gets boring for consumers. It becomes top of mind. We know post-COVID, for example, that consumers are not just dropping hygiene habits, right? I'm sure it happens to many around us as well, and which is why we are also seeing illnesses on the rise again. And therefore I think it's very important, like COVID or not, pre or post, I think it's all about reminding and building that relevance of hygiene in consumers' mind in the most creative and unmissable fashion.
Definitely.
Yeah.
On that note, what values would you say are most important to you as a leader?
Success is defined by attitude and not aptitude. So I really believe that it's more that mindset and the attitude that you have that makes anyone successful. I think that's one of the greatest values. And I think the other one is respect for diversity. I really believe that a single individual can make an impact, but when people come together and they build on each other's ideas, I think that's when they can make even bigger impact. So I really believe that by respecting a team of diverse people that comes together to build on ideas, I think you can create much bigger outsized impact than any individual can. Yeah.
So this focus on attitude and diversity, have you always felt this way, or did it come from somewhere? Did you learn it somewhere? Interesting.
I think as a Singaporean, I think through the education system and the culture, it does build on a lot of that. I think I think for us, I don't know, I come from quite a traditional Chinese family, and I think, from young, and the environment as well always teaches us that attitude is probably the most important sort of value anyone can have, right? So it's not about how smart you are or, how much opportunity. Sometimes it is about attitude of fighting for opportunities and, putting yourself out there so that, you create opportunities for yourself. So I think that's one. Diversity, I think it's really the environment that we live in. I think with diverse culture and a very small, tiny island. I think I always say that because we are so small, I think the only option for us was to embrace the surroundings and embrace the outside. And I think therefore, I just feel like Singaporeans are sort of taught that because we are such a small population that we need to look out, we need to embrace the diversity around us, embrace the culture around us. And I think that tolerance or that understanding actually has really put a lot of value into my work as well. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thank you so much.